Hey everybody, Kirsten again with Water's Edge Tarot. Just on here again for our weekly reading. Let's see what's going to pop up. I know last week's reading was a bit of, we'll put it that way. But, you know, with the week that I had, it kind of made sense, and I hope that with the weeks that you guys had, there was some resonation, and it helped with that tower card, because my tower card was, I saw it coming, but it didn't make it any easier in a way. It just wasn't something that happened out of left field. So, with that being said, let's move forward to this week. Remember, the cards are just a reflection of what your higher self already knows. You are in control of your own destiny, so don't blame my cards, okay? Alright. We are ready. So, this is where we're starting into the week as. Here we have the King of Wands. King of Wands is someone who is organized, logical, someone who does the things that need to get done, but they don't overexert themselves. And that's something I want to mention here, is the King of Wands is a doer and they get things done, but they do within the same time as they realize that rest is actively resting. A lot of times we forget that actively resting is still important. We just want to put the focus on, you know, getting to the next thing, getting to the next thing, and getting to the next thing, and that's not always the case. So, and the King of Wands is somebody who understands that fire, you know, can expand and it can contract. And a lot of times it's a mixture of both that you have to do to keep in that balance. The King of Wands is also a great leader by example. They will, you know, help by follow through and, you know, with hands-on stuff instead of just dictating. The King of Wands also is someone who takes responsibility for their actions and will do what they can to ease others' burdens if it's in their power. So that's where we're starting out, and I think that's a pretty good place for us all to start. Pretty solid card. Next we got growth and temperance. I mean, honestly, I feel like we can all grow in temperance on a regular basis. I mean, temperance is a, you know, combining of the fire and the water. It's keeping both balanced. It's, you know, sorry, my cat's scratching at the door. Ah. Sorry, that was gonna bug me. Okay, temperance is, you know, harmonizing our light and our dark self. Something a lot of people forget with temperance too is it's not just a matter of patience, but it's a matter of faith and trust and having balance in both. So a lot of times you have to remember that when we're in a period of temperance, a lot of times it's because we're trying to create something. That's what the alchemy is about. It's the creation of something, but creating things take time. Like when you make a cake. You know, you have to allow the cake to bake in the oven. When you know, plant seeds in the ground, you have to allow them to germinate before they can pop up. So temperance is also about patience, but it's patience through faith and patience through action, because it's letting something go about its natural course in the state that it needs to be done, which is something that is extremely hard. And I get that because, you know, there's a reason that I pop this card a lot for myself in my own readings, because I'm not a patient person and I like to see what I can do to hurry the results. Unless it comes with cooking and baking, because I actually get that. Cooking and baking, that kind of actually just makes sense for me. So yeah, I think that's a good read on that one. Alright, our next card here is the Page of Coins, and this is our Obstacles and Challenge card. So the Page of Coins is someone who is in a new space, a new time of growth. They are someone who are learning a new craft or new skill, or they are in a new career setting, or whatever it is, it has to deal with being new in a sense of time, energy, physical well-being, and it's all new. And a lot of times when it's new, we don't like to stumble and bumble. We like to be really comfortable. We like to know the routine. We like to know what's going to happen next. We like to know the outcome. When the page of coins is reversed, that's the problem, is that we're trying to resist all that because it's not comfortable yet, it's not routine yet, and so it's something that we still have to think about, and we have to be slightly methodical about, and we have to concentrate more, and it's just hard and it's uncomfortable. And a lot of times when that hard and uncomfortable feeling happens because of a new thing, we tend to get easily aggravated and overcritical. So I want to remind you that while we are, especially as our obstacles and challenges, the Page of Coins really is a card that allows us to remember that the imperfections are our lessons, and the imperfections are the things that are going to help us grow, because the imperfections are going to be the things that are going to allow us to see what we're already doing really well, and they're going to allow us to see what, can be improved upon. So just give yourself, once again, the time and patience, back to patience, in order to continue doing whatever it is that new thing that we're doing is, and be comfortable with the uncomfortable. I know, easier said than done, but that's the advice with this card right now. All right, here we're going to figure out what we're going to embrace. Back to those swords. I thought we were done with these swords. So here we're embracing the Ten of Swords, which I understand could sound counterintuitive, but really, Ten of Swords is always about karmic release. It's always about you letting go of something that has to do with a thought process or a paradigm in your mind. So when we are letting go of a Ten of Swords, when we are letting go of a karmic release, when we are there, we are saying that, this thought process, this mentality isn't suiting, it's not there for me, it's not doing what I need to, it's not suitable for the lifestyle that I want to live, and I'm done with it. And it's rising above that thought process, that paradigm that you've been thinking in for so long, and allowing yourself to enter into a new state. It kind of is in its own way like a minor death, but it's not so much that it's a death, but so much as it's a shift, because you're changing your thought process, and your thought process is what allows the rest of you to follow suit. So if we are changing our thoughts, or changing our, what we say, if we're changing what we're saying, we're changing what we're doing, because our thoughts are kind of the driving force. Emotions are pretty much a lot of times what holds the wheel, but the, thoughts are the gas and the steering wheel and the, wheels of the vehicle. The emotions are just the things that are literally holding the steering wheel. So when we find that we're in this karmic release, or we're, letting go of all of these negative thought patterns and habits, we're literally just veering off the highway into a different direction, into something different, which is good. It's really good. But it can also be a little scary and a little challenging, because when we do that, once again, we're entering into new territory. And when we enter into new territory, a lot of times we want to second guess ourselves. We want to give into those fears. We want to backtrack and go backwards. And it's important to remember that when you release something, once again, being comfortable with the uncomfortable is important, because that's how you know you're growing. That's how you know you're going in the right direction, and that's how you know you're going forward. Yeah, you're going to mess up. Okay, that's fine. Mistakes are part of the process. Please don't forget that the mistakes are how we learn, guys, okay? Our mistakes are not failures. They're only failures if we quit and go backwards. Mistakes are literally our lessons that help us learn how to go forward. All right, the next one we have is our advice card, which is the Ace of Cups reversed. Now, I'm a firm believer that aces are always new beginnings, and no matter which way they are pulled, because ace is always going to be the number one, and one's always the beginning. So cups are about emotions too, which is funny that I was literally just talking about them being the things that are holding the steering wheel. Because here we have ourselves experiencing and going through things that are new to us, that are causing our emotions to be like, hey, this is exciting, or hey, this is scary, because it's so new. It's brand new. It's a clean slate, and we can choose how we want to handle our emotions within these situations. Now, when the Ace of Cups is reversed, it's a lot of times we're reluctant to feel the emotions. We're reluctant to feel the emotions because we don't know if they're the right emotions. And that within itself is just silly, because whatever we're experiencing is the correct emotion. We just get too into our head and we overthink about it, and we want to be like, well, this is too fun. There's got to be something that's harder about this. or this is aggravating, so I have to be doing it wrong, or this isn't coming naturally to me, so this can't be right for me. We like to tell stories with our emotions, and we create these stories that aren't true, when really we should just be experiencing the emotion, observing it, seeing it for what it is, allowing ourselves to process it, and then move on from the emotion. We shouldn't be stuck in our emotions. Emotions are a very powerful tool, but sometimes emotions can cause us to keep pressing on the gas pedal, and we take swerves for the worst, and sometimes it can cause us to put our foot on the brake pedal, which we don't go anywhere. So we have to allow these emotions to just run their course. Think of them like speed limits, to run their course, and then we have to thank them for what they were telling us and for that experience, and continue to move forward. I'm going to pull the last card here because I'm getting a really cool story, and well, okay, that's awesome. I was just curious what the last card was going to be, and the sun makes a lot of sense, guys. So overall message for the week is the sun, which is cool because the sun is always about energy, and it's about not learning the new lesson, but integrating the lessons that we've been learning. It's about saying, hey, I get it, I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to show everyone what I can do. The sun it's never stagnant. It's always very bright, very moving, very passionate. It likes to, just kind of come out and say, hey world, look at this thing that I did, look at this thing that I accomplished, and now I can repeat this over and over again, and I can keep doing it for the betterment of all of us. Whether that, is baking cakes for your friends, whether that is, taking care of your cat's kitty litter on a regular basis, whether that is, something huge as in a career thing that you learned, and now it's going to help you, get, the promotion to get paid better. Whatever it is, it's something that you have learned, you're integrating, and now you can build upon, which is a huge and a wonderful place to be. So now that I've done each card individually, and I'm sorry, I can't stop my cat from scratching the door right now. I've already done it once and she didn't listen. Let's do the overall message here. So we start out in a place where we are being very logical and we're just doing what we need to do. We know that we need to rest and we're resting. We know we need to take action and we're taking action. We're not overthinking it. We're just doing what needs to be done in a good manner for everyone around us. And while we're doing this, we need to remember temperance. And the point of temperance really has a lot to do with this column here, because we need to remember that new things are still going to be uncomfortable even after, we've, I guess you can say, mastered the skill. And I'm putting mastered in quotes here, and that you can see my air quotes, because you never master a skill. What you do is you learn a new skill and you keep perfecting it over and over in time. And as we keep learning this new skill and getting it to a point where we're comfortable to say, hey, I know I can do this, now I just have to keep repeating it. A lot of times we find ourselves going through these mental processes of, oh, well, this person's better than me. I'm not good enough. I'm not what I thought I was. Or, oh, this is awesome. I'm doing exactly what I want to be, but I just made this mistake. How did I just make this mistake? I should be better than this. And then there's the emotional part of it too, where you're just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I learned this thing. And then you realize you messed up half the project and you're like, oh my God, I messed up half the project. I'm not good enough. And then you just want to your heart comes and crashes. Instead of being like, okay, I was overly excited, I wasn't paying attention, maybe I should just pay more attention so I don't make this mistake again. Because I know how to fix it, I know how to, prevent it, and so I just need to take my time a little better. And that's the lesson, that's the things that we have to remember to help with the integration of temperance. Which leads us to the, coming to the world and saying, guess what guys, I did this, I'm doing this, and I'm moving forward. So this is an awesome message for the week. It's a very positive one. And guys, I just want to remind you that sun is just energy and vitality, and it's integration of everything. And if we can just lean into the sun's power and allow ourselves to feel those rays, then we won't have to worry about, whether or not we're doing it right or if it's perfect. We won't have to worry about, am I going too fast or am I going too slow? Because we'll remember that divine timing is everything and the universe always gives us what we need. And if we can remember that, we can find the Ace of Cups turned right side up. so that way we can have the emotions in a more positive way and we're not resisting them. Because resistance is what hurts us and flow is what helps us. And no matter what emotion you're feeling, if you're in a state of flow, if it's a negative emotion or an uncomfortable one, you'll be able to pass through it a lot easier and get back into the happy emotions. That is just what it is, guys. So this is a great message. If this resonates with you, please let me know. I'm not gonna lie, this is like the happiest forecast I've received in a couple weeks, and guys, it's nice to see. It's nice to see the sun. It really is. All right, comment below if this resonates with you. If you have anything that you want me to start adding to these readings, please let me know, and I will see what I can do. I wish everyone a good week, and God bless.